Okay, so I've got my samples now from both Lulu and from Amazon for the Subject to 18 comic. And I'll start with what I mentioned already in the first video, which I uploaded a few days ago. And that's with the Amazon version. So, as we know, it came with a perfect bound spine and all the features really that you'd expect to see in a compilation volume, so it's like 3 or more issues combined into one book. So it came on the exterior looking like a volume, but inside the paper quality was poor. It's not the right type of paper that you'd even see in a compilation volume, because inside any comic the pages are glossy with a protective coating so that the ink is nice and vibrant, and it's usually dirt resistant as well. This has no protective coating at all, and it also had a white bar across the top on every single page, even though it didn't show up on the manuscript or on the digital proof, which is what you need to approve before you can even order this. So the Amazon one came and I was very disappointed with it. And now I'm going to talk about the Lulu one. Now, I made specifications to Lulu, and these are the things that they got right. It has a saddle stitch spine, so it's got the staples. You might not be able to see it. I've got some staples in there, which is what you usually get in a comic. The size is the same, which is how it should be. However, the entire book has pretty much a reverse of this problem that the Amazon edition had, which is there is white running across the bottom, and it's the exact same manuscript. So I don't understand where that has gone wrong, really. A couple of the pages as well have white down the sides instead of being black all the way around, although I don't know if this is a problem with the manuscript or if it's just a printing fault, because the one that I provided, Amazon, does not have that white border at all. And now we're on to one of the other things I got right. Is the paper is coated and glossy. It's not perfect, it's not exactly like a comic. This is the first time I've ever ordered from Lulu something that would be classed as a comic, because I've usually done just children's picture books like Donny Saw, which I have a new sample of, which I will come to in a moment, and regular written novels. So this is the first comic-based project I have made, and it's also the first comic book project I have done printing through, so it's completely different to how a digital comics run. Now, one of the other problems I noticed with the Lulu one is it's not being cut very well, so it's not going to be very easy for me to show with this webcam, because this webcam is really cheap. But basically, it's a piece of the top has been cut off and is leaving the paper from the pages exposed, so the cover has been cut too close here. They've actually cut that section off, whereas on the other side it's close again, but you can see if I lay it flat, it's not as bad as on the back. It's not being cut very well, and it's actually nearly cut off a piece of the text. So not 100% happy with the Lulu one either, but it is an improvement. It's the exact same manuscript, as I said several times, and some of the main positives from the Lulu one is the colours are not washed out. These are nice and bold, whereas if I open the same page in here, it probably won't be that obvious. This is the Amazon version. This is the Lulu version. So I need to get this angled right. It's very hard. So you have this is the Lulu, and this is the Amazon. So you can see there is slight differences. The colours on the Lulu one pop more, but that's because they have used the correct paper, the one that I specified, which is a glossy one with a coating to make the ink more vibrant, whereas Amazon have used cheap paper. But that's Amazon, we should expect that really. So those are the samples. They are both rejected. I've rejected both of them, and I have still been chasing Comixology to try and get them to provide a print of the comic, but they still haven't gotten back to me, so I am still chasing them. But for the time being, the first issue is available on Kindle Unlimited, and it is free on Kindle Unlimited. It's £2.75 otherwise, and all future issues will be about £2 for the ebook version. And I was hoping to get the printed versions done on Amazon and have it so that if you buy the print, you get the ebook for free. But until I get this issue with the printing sorted out, whether it's through Comixology or Amazon itself, then I won't be able to say if that's going to be a certainty. So for now, it's just going to be the first issue that is going to be released on ebook, and any future issues that I make will not be released until the problem with the printing for issue 1 is resolved. I'm working very hard to get them resolved as soon as possible, so that I can have at least the first issue ready and mass printed for Comic-Con, because I want to sell it at Comic-Con, and we'll have to just wait and see what Comixology say, because it's entirely in their hands now. I've sent them all the files they need. I have sent them all the data as well regarding page sizes, how many issues are roughly going to be in the series, and all that jargon really. That's all been sent, and I just have to wait, and the waiting is the hardest part. So yeah, samples, both of them rejected. They both have flaws, they both have things they've done right. I mean, to be honest, comparing the two, they're both exactly the same size. So if I place them both together, like so, they are exactly the same size. So, but the print isn't that different really. They're both very high quality print, although looking at the Amazon one, it's a better fit for the size. It is also a little bit paler, whereas the colours on the Lulu one are more vibrant. Well, again, it's all been chopped off, and the backs are completely different because this was done using the Amazon back cover generator, whereas this is the sample one that I produced, which I prefer, but the size that Amazon allowed me to do it is too small, so I have to follow a template. So yeah, the samples are here. The samples are both being rejected for completely different reasons. In this case, the interior print is rubbish, but if I could, I would overlook the cover. The cover is the best out of them. This one, the interior print is a lot better, but the cover is garbage. So if I could put them both together, have the interior from Lulu and have the exterior from Amazon, I would. So that's for another day. Now, I mentioned in a previous video I had, again, a problem with Amazon with the Roar It's Donny Saw, where it had 2 pages in the back that were missing for some reason. And now I have my new sample which has been approved, which has those 2 pages, which I'll show here. You have a picture of just Donny, and it's for your children to colour in, or for you to colour in if you like to colour in pictures. And then a map of the zoo layout. So a couple of these question marks are dinosaurs that I'm keeping secret for now, who will show up eventually. And it basically says, where do Donny and Bloof live, and then your child just has to find where Donny and Bloof are in the picture, which is quite easy, but it's there anyway, as a little reference as well. So that's all been sorted, but again, in typical Amazon fashion, they like to insert blank pages for absolutely no reason. So in the back, there's a blank page, just so that this can go here, when in fact it should be here, or on the back of this page. This page doesn't need to be here, but they put it there. There's nothing I can do about that. I've already told them about this. So unfortunately, there's about a blank page or two still in the back. But you know, you can always let your kids draw in it. It's always a good space to have some paper. But the main problem of the two missing pieces of artwork is resolved. They are in there now, and it's perfectly ready to distribute. So yeah, those two pages, they were blank before because Amazon messed up, and now they're there again. So that's Royce Dinosaur, ready, completely fixed. And it's available on ZuW, and it should be available on Amazon very shortly. So now that those are out of the way, I was going to mention about why I am going to be moving my written projects to Amazon, and it's because I was given a offer from Amazon to distribute my books through Kindle Unlimited, and I couldn't say no. Really, it was a very good offer. I mean, ZuW have given me no support really. Everything is just being handled on my end, and Amazon basically said, would you be interested in joining this program and getting a high revenue? And I said I'd be interested. So in ZuW, when I make a book, they put the price automatically. There's a price already instated, which is the amount for printing, and then their profit, and then anything I add to that is my profit, or my profit and distributor fees. So let's just use Dinosaur as the example there. I was given a price of just under £8 to print that book on ZuW, so that's, I don't know how much it was in print, but then it has the fee already applied to it for their profit. And then I wanted to make sure it was available all over the place, but there was only a few suppliers who would take the book because of its shape, and that was Amazon. So they asked for additional fees for the distribution to Amazon, so that's even more money put onto the price that I don't see. So in the end, I wound up with £1.50 per sale of that book, about £1.50. So it's priced at £10.99, and I only see probably 10% of that. Whereas Amazon approached me and they said, are you interested in joining our program? And I said, yes, I'm interested. Can you tell me the figures? And they basically said, you will get 70% in revenue. So to go from a paltry 10 to maximum 30% on ZuW to 70% is a bit of a no-brainer. So all the projects that I've already published on ZuW will stay with ZuW, and any revisions I do or new versions. So in case of Subject 218, not the comics but the novels, they're getting a rewrite. The originals will stay on ZuW, and I will be doing a remixed or remastered version, and those will be published through Amazon. So the old ones will still be around, but the more up-to-date versions will be produced and available through Amazon. So that's one of the main reasons why I've decided to go to Amazon. Another reason is also the price in which I can order my own stock. Now ZuW had two websites. They had the regular one, which is just zulu.com or .co.uk or whichever country you're buying from, and then they have ZuW Express, which is X and then Press, which is their printing service. But that only allows you to buy in US dollars, I believe, and I've asked them before in the past. When they intend to make it accessible for people outside of America, because you can order from Lulu Express and have them shipped worldwide, but they only accept US dollars, which means that I get charged when for international payments. So let me just see if I can put this up, which I can, but it's not going to like it because, you know what, Streamlabs, they don't for some reason like it. So I was hoping to show you the website and how it looks, but Lulu Express basically is the printing site, so they don't do any distribution through there, and that's the cheapest place that you can normally buy your own books from. So if I ordered, again I'm using this as a very rough example, let's just say that this is officially printed through Lulu, and it costs about £5 to print. Oh, this is the Amazon version, but this does cost about £5 to print on Lulu, which is expensive. But if I put this through their Express website, it goes all the way down to £2.99, about £3. So to print just one copy. That's because they don't incur the admin charges and all that rubbish. So it's cheaper to do it through Express to buy my stock, which is what I did with all my previous books. But Amazon, the price it costs for me to print through them is extremely cheap. So whilst I still will lose a little bit of revenue if I just have it distributed through Amazon, when I order my own stock, I can get it at a cheaper rate. So for example, the Amazon version of this comic costs £2.05 to print, which is a huge difference to what Lulu were charging me. If I wanted to order a single comic from Lulu for the sample, which was this, paid £5, nearly £6 for this, exactly the same, except for obviously binding and the paper quality on the inside being a little bit inferior. It cost £3, £4 cheaper to get from Amazon. So I will be able to finally, touch wood with Comixology, I will finally be able to order a substantial amount of comics to sell at a cheap price, which is what I wanted, because this is the first issue of the series. I want people to get into this series. I want to make it so it's affordable as well, and Lulu haven't been making it affordable. It's been extremely tough to get any of my heavy artwork, heavy projects done through Lulu. So I will be moving to Amazon, even if this comic doesn't make it very well into the Amazon chain. If I can get into Comixology, it would be fantastic. If I can't, I will have to stick to Lulu for the comic. But all future book projects are going now to Amazon. So ZuW Folklore Volume 3 and 4 will be the last 2 books that I post to Lulu. I'm only doing that for continuity's sake because number 1 and 2 are already on there, and I'm not making a remastered version of any of them. I will be doing a compilation book of all of them eventually, but that compilation will be put through Amazon. So, just for future referencing, Dinosaur has its first volume done through Lulu and it's distributed to Amazon. But even there, in the future, all the Dinosaur books, they will be posted through Amazon because the first one's already available on Amazon. It won't be available anywhere else, not like the ZuW Folklore books. So that's all I have to say at the moment about the comic, about the status of the book, printing. I have some little updates to add, but again, the Streamlabs does not like to display the World Wide Web. So I am going to try and hopefully get it to show up through the dreaded Internet Explorer, because I usually use Google Chrome. So let's try this. And it's showing a blank page. Okay, I don't quite understand that. I don't know why it's doing it, because it's not a blank page to me. But yeah, it's going to just stay as a blank page, isn't it? Okay. Well, I was hoping to show the new changes I have done to the Travelling Japan article, and a new article that I will be starting when that has finished. So basically the Japan article now only has one section left, which is about shabu shabu, which is like a group eating experience in Japan. After that's finished, the entire article about how I travelled to Japan without a car is completely done. So it's already available up and ready for you to read if you want to read it. It's just missing that one little section, but that shouldn't take me long. I've just this minute finished doing all the writing for the snacks and things like that. So, and the final thoughts as well. So that's all done. But I mainly just started finishing off another article that I started this weekend, because I received a package of G Fuel. Now, people will know G Fuel. It's associated with the likes of PewDiePie and all, you know, big esporters. So I received a package with G Fuel. And I thought, okay, I've never tried this before. I used to drink a lot of energy drinks, and it's not just for gaming. I mean, I used to drink a lot of sugary drinks just to keep myself energized to do artwork and to do writing, because as most people who have followed me since DeviantArt in 2004 know, I'm a grafter. So I will get up and I will work on a single project, probably indefinitely, from 8 in the morning till whatever time late at night or early the next day. One day I actually worked on a picture from, I think it was about 10:30 in the morning, and I finished that one picture at about 2 or 3 in the morning the next day, and I only stopped for bathroom breaks and to get some food and top up my hydration. So I used to drink a lot of energy drinks, and it really did make you feel like garbage, because it's all just a quick kick and then a crash. So it wasn't good, and I did manage to kick the habit of drinking a lot of energy drinks, but I was still staying up late and getting up quite early to do these projects. So when I saw about G Fuel, I was like, oh, this is supposed to be a healthier alternative. I'll give it a try. And I received my package this weekend, just gone, and I tried my first sample of it this morning, and I thought, well, I see a lot of people promoting it and saying all these great things about it, but you don't actually hear them talk in detail about how the product tastes, and also whether or not it works immediately for them, you know, how long it takes to work for them. So I thought I will do a little test. I've got 7 different flavours, and I'm going to sample one each day, and I'm going to see, one, how they taste, and I'm going to critique them on how they taste, and also I'm going to see if it does increase my energy levels, and if I do experience any crashing, or if it even improves my focus, so that I can write more without being like, oh, I'm fed up with this, I'm just going to go and lay down for a bit. Now, I had one flavour already today, so every single day that I try one, I'm going to update the review. So there's a list already of the 7 flavours I'm going to try. The first flavour I tried this morning is already up, and I'm going to update it every day. So it will be finished. The whole article will be finished by Sunday the 23rd of June. So that's when the entire article will be finished with my final thoughts and the conclusion, whether or not it's actually helped me or not. So, yeah, so that's going to be a little interesting side project. It's not going to take very long. It's just something I'm doing when I wake up in the morning. Swig of G Fuel. How does it taste? And then after a few hours, see how I feel. I mean, the one that I had this morning, I put everything up like I said. But I've not felt any energy crashes yet, so my focus has been no different to how it usually is, but we'll soon see. It's just the first day, so obviously this video goes up on Wednesday, but I record these in advance. I mean, the samples, they arrived at 2 different times, but I received the second sample this morning, which is Monday, and I will just be keeping up to tabs with that. Hopefully by Wednesday I will have heard back from Comixology. If that's the case, this video will have something edited at the end, but for now that's all that I have. Okay, so I had a message back from Comixology, and basically they say they're mainly just a digital publishing service, so I won't be getting the comics printed through them. I will still be making them available via Comixology, but from what I've read, it can take anywhere from the submission stage, which is where you send them the manuscript, it can take anywhere from between 4 to 6 months. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be something that I pursue. I will have the first issue provided up there just so that it's widely accessible for people, but all future ones won't go through there, at least not for a very long time, because that waiting time is ridiculous. The printed copies, I am looking at alternative places to get them done. For the moment it looks like they will only be able to be printed and not distributed through these websites, so until I can find somewhere that is consistent where it will print and distribute, the issues will only be sold in print through Comic-Con, so we will have to wait and see. I will keep everybody updated on that, but it's not going to stop the comic being made. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to post all the EPUB versions as soon as they're available, and when a volume can be compiled, I can do it through the likes of Amazon and Lulu, but for the individual issues, they can't be done through those sites because I've already received the results and I'm not too happy with them. And that's it really. I mean, I've been doing the G Fuel review on day 3. This is Wednesday's recording. The first video was recorded on Monday. I was quite sick yesterday and I'm still feeling a little bit run down. So I have decided that after the 7 days I'm going to wait a while until I feel a lot better, and then I'm going to do the G Fuel month, where I see if it can help me improve my energy performance and so on. So the G Fuel review, that's on the website. That's only for the 7-day period. The month one I'm going to do as a video. I'm going to record a little video every single day, a couple of seconds, maybe a minute long, and then I'm going to compile it into like a little docu-film. So that's just something that I'm going to do on the side. As for other projects, because in the first video I didn't mention everything, so we already know the state of the comic. I don't need to mention that. The novel, again, it's still in its rewrite stage. Nothing new on there. My Gakido, no change there. It's about 50 to 60% finished. Specimen G13, that is, I'd say, about 60% finished in writing, and I've just started doing some artwork for it, other than the cover, because the cover is nearly finished. Gmar of Folklore, I'm not doing any more on that until Volume 3 and 4 are being proofread. The guides, they're obviously in a queue as well, so I'm hoping to at least get the first light edition, which is about the breeds, done in time for Comic Con, but there's a lot of artwork to do for that. And I've only done a few pieces. Rourke's Dinosaur, that again, it's the sample, everything's fine with that. It does have a blank page in it, but that's Amazon. Amazon just seem to love putting blank pages in. And basically, that's it. I'm going to do another little article in the future, very distant future, after I have managed to tackle all my little hurdles with the comic and with all these books, which will be about self-publishing. So how you, if you're interested in self-publishing, will be able to go and hit the ground running, really, rather than doing what I'm doing, where I have to do everything by myself and learn the hard way and trip and fall and do all these struggles. I'm going to put down every single experience I've had into one article, and I'm going to put down links to websites I recommend personally, links to websites I definitely don't recommend, and also a few things to avoid and look out for, basically, because yeah, there's not everyone you meet on social media actually wants to help you. So anyway, that'll do, and I will post another video up in a week's time, providing everything goes well and I have more samples, because I'm still waiting on some samples from Redbubble about the t-shirts, and I'm also waiting on the badges. Now, oh yeah, about the badges, when they arrive, if I am extremely happy with them, I will be getting more designs done and more badge designs made available. But that's something to consider in the future. They won't be here until about the end of the month. I'm hoping to at least receive a sample before then. But anyway, that's all for now, and I will see you all again next week.